This was a conversation I shouldn't have heard. I was supposed to be with a client that day, but the client called and canceled the order. As a result, I sat in my cubicle and did some paperwork. It was early, about 7:15. It didn't start until 8, but many of the guys came early to drink coffee and chat before work. I heard Brad and Bill come in and start talking about the latest idiocy that management had unveiled, and then they brought up last night's match before moving on to the inevitable discussion about women. By the time they got to the topic of women, Brad and Bill had been joined by Sam, Al, Josh, and Donnie. I sat around the corner so no one walked past me and no one knew I was there. They discussed all the girls in the office and what they would like to do with each of them, and then Josh said, "Suppose you could have one, who would you choose?" "I would choose Mary because of her big breasts. My wife's breasts are so small that she barely needs to wear a bra," Brad said. Ted chose Sally because she had the sexiest ass he had ever seen. "What about you, Sam?" Ted asked. "It's easy, but she doesn't work here." "Who is this?" "Rob's wife. I would have Jenny as many times as I could. It's a pity that you will never have such an opportunity." "Why do you say that? You can have her?" I saw it in her eyes. Heck, everyone in the room could do it, and probably all at the same time. "Do you mean perhaps, or just one-on-one? Bring her to Rob's party and I can have her. I'm willing to bet that 15 minutes later Brad could have done her, and before the party is over, I'm willing to bet she's done everyone at least once." "You're fucking crazy," Bill said. "No," Sam answered. "She can be had, and Rob knows it. Why else do you think he's looming over her? He doesn't dare let her out of his sight." This was not true. I was so foolishly in love with her that I could not bear to be separated from her. "I'm telling you guys, you can have her." "Sam, you are so full of crap that it's impossible to believe." Further conversation was interrupted when Harry, our manager, shouted, "Hey, it's already 8 o'clock! Where the hell are my guys?" The small meeting ended, and the guys dispersed to begin their daily work. That evening, on the way home, I wondered why Sam was so confident that he could get to my wife. She was gorgeous, and that fact alone guaranteed that she would attract men's attention, and she really loved to flirt, and it made boys sniff her. I could be wrong, but I didn't think Sam could have her. He just wasn't her type at all. However, this was an opportunity for me to try to do something. If I play it right, I might even make $1 or $2. It would take some work on my part, but I just might make the situation work for me. The first step was to get Jenny involved. When I got home, Jenny had already prepared dinner, and after talking a little about our days, I asked her, "You really want to go to Cancun? How far are you willing to go for this?" "What kind of question is this? I think I know a way we can get the money without borrowing or going into debt, but it will depend on what you are willing to do." "What are you talking about?" I told her what I overheard. "I want to take advantage of this. What I want to do is invite them all here for a barbecue, and then I want you to pretend that you're willing to have sex with 1 or 2 of them on occasion." "You're crazy, Rob." "Listen to me, okay? You're gorgeous, and every man you know wants to get into your pants. You flirt a lot, and it makes a couple of them think they have a chance. I suggest we have a barbecue, and you do everything you can to make them think they can have you if they can only find a way to get me out of the way. Then I'll schedule a poker game for next week. I'll ask Bill to start another conversation, like the one I overheard this morning. And as soon as Sam or anyone else says they're sure they can get you, Bill will bet them they can't. We will arrange it so that he will push them to make a bet. And then he will say, "Okay, I'm so sure you can't that I'll bet you $500 that it won't work out. You can try your hand. I'll get Rob out of the way so there's plenty of time to try." You prepare them ahead of time at the barbecue, and they will be confident that they can do it and will accept the bet. During the poker game, you drive them all away, and we earn $3,000 to pay for the trip to Cancun. What should I do at the barbecue? Continue with your usual flirting and go a little further. What do you mean next? It will depend entirely on you. Anything except sex itself. So, you're saying that I should let myself be touched, maybe rubbed through my pants, a few heavy kisses, and send everyone home with a box of blue balls? Yes, something like that. I want them to leave the barbecue confident that they can have you if they get the chance. How are you going to get Bill to agree? I'll offer him $500. This will still leave us $2,500 for the trip. How about this? Do you think you can do it? Oh, I can do it, honey, and it might even be fun, but you know there will be a downside. What are you talking about? They'll all leave with a box of blue balls, but they'll leave me hotter than a wildfire. After they leave, I'll do my best to end the evening right. You better start taking your vitamins now to prepare. The next day at work, I pulled Bill aside, told him I had overheard the conversation, and then told him what I wanted to do. A big smile appeared on his face, and he told me that he was ready to participate. You know, I think very highly of Jenny, and it really pissed me off when Sam said she would be easy to sleep with. Bill became involved in the project. All that remained was to prepare the guys. It was too late to have a BBQ the following weekend, so I planned for a week later and got everyone to come. After that, all we could do was wait and see. As far as I could tell, the barbecue was a success. Jenny was wearing a pair of Daisy Dukes, with her butt cheeks sticking out. She had no bra under her low-cut top, and I could see the tents in her pants. I noticed that, every now and then, Jenny and each of the guys would disappear for 5 or 10 minutes. I casually scheduled a poker game for the following Thursday, and all the guys said they would come. They all walked away, just knowing that Jenny was theirs if they could get me out of the way. And true to her word, Jenny Dam actually used me that night. Bill made his move on Monday morning. I made sure I was late for work, so they wouldn't have to sweat over me eavesdropping on them, but I had a voice-activated tape recorder in my cubicle to catch the conversation. The conversation started with everyone commenting on how hot Jenny looked at the BBQ, and Sam said, "I'm telling you guys, she can be taken if only we can get to her when Rob isn't around." Everyone said they agreed with him, but it was almost impossible to get me out of the way, and then Bill got involved. "Bullshit. You don't have the slightest chance of getting her." "Come on, Bill. Everyone except you knows that you can get her. I think you have a crush on her or something, and are looking at her through rose-colored glasses." "Ah, well, are you responsible for your words?" "What do you mean?" "Poker game on Thursday. I'll get Rob out of the way, and you'll take your best shot. I'll bet everyone $500 that you won't even kiss. Do you have $3,000 that you can afford to lose? Hey, the stakes are on the table. You guys are so sure to put up or shut up." One by one, the guys said they were in. "Okay," said Bill. "I'll give Rob something that will knock him out. Once it falls, you can all do your best. Only one rule, she herself must be ready. Neither get her drunk nor force her to do anything. Do you agree?" "Yes, Bill, we agree. On game night, I made Jenny dress sexy as hell. High heels, miniskirt, and low-cut blouse. We said she was supposed to go out with her friends while we played cards, but things fell through at the last minute, and she decided to stay and act as hostess. We all sat down, sorted out the cards, and started the game. We were on line 3 when the phone rang and Jenny answered. "This is you, Rob. This is Sally." Sally was my brother's wife. I got up, went to the phone, and returned a couple of minutes later. "My brother had an accident and was taken to the hospital. I'll have to leave, but there's no reason to end the game." I kissed Jenny, told her I'd call her from the hospital, and left. I went to Murphy's bar, had a beer, and then called home and asked Jenny to tell the guys that I wouldn't be back until the morning. Dan has a concussion, and now he's still not himself. Sally should be home with the kids, so I'll have to stay here until he wakes up. Doctors say this may take several hours. I'll go to work from here in the morning. I told her I loved her and would call her as soon as he woke up. Then I called Sally, thanked her for calling, and told her I owed her a favor. I had a couple more beers and stopped for the night at Motel 6. At 6, I called Jenny and told her that Dan had woken up and everything seemed okay. At work, a smiling Bill came up to me and handed me an envelope. "There are 3 pieces. You didn't take out your share?" "Oh no, Rob, it was good for me. Spend extra on Jenny when you get to Cancun." "After I left, everything went well?" "It's a pity that your brother was hurt, but it made us feel better. If we had used that drug, you would have been in the house longer, and that would have delayed them a little. But with you gone, they decided they were free. The guys were a little disappointed when they left your house last night. Jenny led them until they were sure they would force her to pull the train, and then she hit them. God, it was great to see Sam walk away with his tail between his legs. Around 10, I told my boss I wasn't feeling well and went home. Jenny will be at work until 5 and won't be back until 5:45. I went down to the basement workshop, opened the toolbox, and pulled out 5 voice-activated tape recorders that I had hidden in the house before the barbecue. I rewound the first one and pressed the play button. I heard heavy breathing and what could have been a kiss. And then Brad said, "God, you're so hot. Do we have time for quick sex?" "I'm afraid not," Jenny answered. "Maybe at poker." Let me suggest something. I heard the sound of a zipper being unzipped, and then Jenny said, "Give me a kiss." Oh my God. "Put it away, baby, and look forward to playing poker, okay?" Sound door opening and closing, and then the tape recorder turned off. A second later, it all started again. "Did anyone see us come in?" "No," Sam replied. "You told me to be careful, so I made sure there was no one around." "Give me a look at your dignity." "Here? Are we going to do it here?" "No, silly. We won't do this until the poker game. I just want to see what's in front of me." There was the sound of a zipper being unzipped, and Jenny said, "Whoa!" "Put it away, baby. We need to get back to the party," Jenny said, and then the sound of the door opening and closing was heard. There was nothing else on that tape recorder, so I moved on to the next one. The door opened and closed, and then I heard all day. "How much time do we have?" "Just long enough for you to show me what to expect from playing poker." "Lord, Al, if I had known, we would have been playing a long time ago." "What are you doing?" "I'm taking off my shorts." "For what?" "I can't wait for poker to see what it's like." The sound of clothes falling to the floor, and then, "Oh God, yes, exactly." Crap. I wouldn't like to stop. It's a pity that we don't have more time, but we need to hurry to the party. More sounds of clothes, and then sounds of kissing, followed by Jenny's words. "I don't want to wait until Thursday, baby, but damn, I have to." There was nothing else on this tape recorder, nor on the next one. I already knew what was on the 5th tape, so I put them back in the toolbox, went upstairs, and took the tapes from the 4 cameras I had placed in the bedrooms and living room. The tape from the living room showed me leaving and Jenny walking to the window and pulling back the curtain to look outside. A minute later, she turned and said, "That's it, he's gone." "How do you want to do it?" Bill asked. "Do you all know what it's all about?" Jenny asked. 500 each, and never tell anyone about it, okay?" Everyone unanimously agreed, and then Jenny said, "Give the money to Bill, and then remove the cards." The highest card goes first. They played their cards, and Donnie was first. "I want you to lie right here on the poker table first, and then we'll take you to the bedroom." While I was watching the recording, I picked up my cell phone and quickly dialed the number. "John? This is Rob. I think we were very lucky. We expected to catch only Bill, but we caught Bill and 5 others. I'm watching the recording now." "Yes. Keep reading the newspapers and we'll meet on Tuesday." "Okay. See you then." I switched off and went back to watching the tape. The recording from the camera in the bedroom caught them when they entered the door. Just then the phone rang, and it was me calling Jenny to tell her that I was going to stay at the hospital and go to work from there. "He's not coming home, guys, so we have until you go to work, if you can hold out that long." After that, everything started to repeat itself as the 6 men used Jenny in every way. By 2 o'clock in the morning, everyone except Bill was dressed to leave. "When can we do this again?" asked Elle. "Whenever you have 500. After everyone had left, Jenny and Bill got into bed, and Jenny snuggled up to Bill. "Was I big enough of a slut for my lover?" "Oh God, yes. When I told you that this was my biggest fantasy, I never thought that you would actually do it. I never thought I'd do it either, but I really want to go to Cancun, and the chance to get money to pay for the trip was too good to pass up. I'm very sorry that I didn't. Lover, maybe next time." A few minutes later, they were already asleep. When Jenny got home from work, I was sitting on the back porch sipping a beer. She came out, sat down next to me, leaned over, and kissed me. "How was your day?" she asked. To be honest, one of the best. About? Did something good happen? I think yes. I feel like I got rid of excess baggage and saved a ton of money. How did you manage that? Last night, I recorded your wonderful evening. I looked at her. Why are you so pale, my love? Maybe you're surprised that your loving hubby isn't as stupid as you thought. I'm sure I don't know what you mean. No? Well, let me explain everything to you. I found out about you and Bill 3 months ago. I went to see a divorce lawyer and got some bad news. It doesn't matter if you're a cheater. In this state, divorce results in a 50-50 division of property. The courts tend to side with women, which means I would probably end up paying your lawyer's fees and all the court costs. That was a price I wasn't willing to pay to get rid of your walking ass. However, there was a way around this. If I could catch you committing a crime against me, I could dump your ass, and it would only cost me my lawyer's fees and court costs, and I would end up with all the assets. I just couldn't figure out how to do it until you started insisting on going to Cancun. Then I overheard a conversation between Brad, Sam, and the guys, and wondered if I could use it to my advantage. I gave you a song and dance about betting with guys, and you and your lover took the ball and ran with it. I've been taping all your phone calls for 3 months now, trying to catch you doing something that I could use against you, and I know all about how you and Bill wanted to have a gangbang with the guys at work. I had 4 voice recorders hidden around the house during barbecues. But these records, as good as they are not the ones that will send you to jail. The voice recorder I had on my phone line will do this. Don't go. I'll be right back. I got up and went into the house, got another beer, and then took the tape recorder, which I left in the office. I returned to the porch and sat on the swing. It's a good story, the one that will land you and Bill in jail. Here, listen. I did a little editing to remove any hint that I was involved in setting anything up, and I pressed play. Have you decided to let them all use you? How do we do this? You'll show everyone your breasts, and it will distract Rob while I spike his drink. It would knock him out, and he wouldn't remember anything when he woke up. While he's gone, you can do whatever you want. Hole his callus with a beer bottle. Cut an inch off his dignity. Whatever you want. He won't know until he wakes up. Cut off an inch? He doesn't have enough as it is. I like the beer bottle idea, though. Maybe after I'm done with all the guys and they've left, we can have some fun with Rob. We can always tell him that he did it voluntarily, but was too drunk to remember. I pressed the stop button. I played the tape for my lawyer, and he said you and Bill were charged with conspiracy to commit a crime. Knowingly using drugs is a criminal act, isn't it? Well, now you know it. Why are you so quiet, Jenny? You didn't say a word. Still stunned to find out I'm not as stupid as you thought? It doesn't matter, I still won't listen to you. According to John, my lawyer, this recording alone is enough to send you and Bill to prison. But last night you and Bill did even better. I had 4 cameras hidden in the house that recorded everything you did. I have a video of you saying, you all know the terms of the deal, right? $500 each. Give your money to Bill. And there is a video of each man handing Bill his money. That makes you guilty, and so does Bill. Legal terms, extortion and connivance. You're baked, honey. I looked at her, but she did not look at me. She was looking everywhere but at me, and I was tempted to ask where her contempt for me suddenly came from. But then I decided that I didn't really want to know. That's the problem. John filed the divorce papers, and I asked for everything. House, savings, certificates of deposit, everything except your car. On Tuesday, you and I will go to John's office, and you will sign the divorce papers, accepting everything as is and agreeing not to contest the divorce. Having finished this, we leave John's office and go in different directions. If you don't sign these papers on Tuesday, John will turn over the records to the assistant district attorney, and you and Bill will end up in criminal court and most likely in jail. Your choice, and I need to know by 4 o'clock on Monday evening so I can tell John we'll be there on Tuesday. If he doesn't hear from me by the time his office closes at 5, he'll see the DA first thing Tuesday morning. Still don't want to tell me anything, Jenny? Well, you might want to talk it over with Bill, because if you go there, He'll go with you. Next to the phone is my lawyer's card. I'm suing Bill for alienation of affection, and he might want to call John and see if it's possible to settle out of court. I stood up and left her sitting. We stayed out of each other's way for the rest of the weekend, but just before leaving for work on Monday, I reminded her of the 4 o'clock deadline. I was in a good mood when I walked into Brad's office for morning coffee. "Hey guys," I said, "I have something you really need to see. Let's go to the conference room. There is a TV and a VCR. The only one not present was Bill. This is cool, guys, the most disgusting video I've ever seen. Great, isn't it? Notice how clear this is? You can tell who the players are. None of them turned to me until I said I was so pleased with how well the film turned out that I made several copies and sent them to each of your wives by special messenger. I've specified delivery by 8 a.m., so most should be delivered by now. I called ahead to let your wives know it was coming. Al, your wife, asked me to send her a copy to her father. He's a lawyer, isn't he? Oh, and Sam. Debbie asked me to send her a copy to her office. She seems to think that since you get home from work before her, she might disappear, which she really, really wants to see. Have questions? No. I can't believe no one wants to talk about this. Jenny couldn't talk to me either. I'm not going to talk to you, bastard. I'm just going to kick your ass, Donnie muttered. Go ahead, Donnie. But know one thing. In the mood I'm in right now, you'll have to kill me so I don't kill you. And that's my damn promise. Does anyone else have anything else to say? No? Okay, guys. It's already 8 o'clock. Time to start. Bill never showed up to work that day, and I got nothing but dirty looks from everyone else all day. At 3:30, Harry called me into his office and asked me what was going on, and I told him the whole story. Can you work with them? I won't have problems with them because I got even with them. The question is, can they work with me? I will not tolerate disagreements in the office if they interfere with work. Tell it to them, Harry, not to me. But I will say this. If you decide to fire me because of what they did and my reaction to it, you better make sure my severance package is a damn good one, or you'll find that I have a damn good lawyer. Are you threatening me, Rob? No. I just want to say that if you fire me and not them, I will sue. I will do my job the same way I always have, and you haven't had any complaints about my work for over 10 years. You fired me because these assholes don't want to work with me, and that's the same as siding with them, and I won't stand for it. At 3:50, Jenny called. Bill says we have to fight. He says you don't have enough reason to stand your ground. Okay, Jenny, remember, it was your choice. I hung up and called John and told him about Jenny's decision, and he said he was letting the ball roll. Bill came to work the next day and tried to avoid me. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Jenny called me. What the hell is going on, Rob? I was just served with divorce papers and a restraining order. I can't approach you or enter our house. And what? This is my home too, Rob. Talk to Judge Jenny. According to the records in my lawyer's possession, you intended to cause me bodily harm, and I told my lawyer that I did not want you anywhere near me. I need clothes and things, Rob. Let me know when you want to come. If it fits into my schedule, I'll arrange for a sheriff's deputy to be there and let me take personal items, but only personal items, you know? Why are you acting like this? Why are you doing this to me? It's called getting even with Jenny. This is partial payback for what you and Bill did to me behind my back. The next day at 10:24, 2 sheriff's deputies came to the office and took Bill into custody. When he was taken out in handcuffs, his face was pale. I called John to let him know, and he told me that things don't usually happen that fast. But he told the judge that since Bill works at the same place as me, he fears for my safety, and that should have taken the situation up a notch. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I received a call from Judy, Jenny's sister. Jenny just called me. She's in jail. What the hell is going on, Rob, and why is she calling me and not you? All I can tell you, Judy, is what I hear. Hopefully they keep her there for a couple more years. She called you because she knew I would have hung up on her because she cheated. Treason? Oh, God. I warned her, but she didn't listen. Did you know? Everyone knew. Everyone except you. Thanks for letting me know. What are you waiting for, Rob? She's my sister. Take care of yourself, Judy. And I hung up. The next day I had just returned from lunch when Jason Milner called me. I am your wife's court-appointed lawyer. She just had a bail hearing, and her bail was set at $35,000. She needs $3,500 for a guarantor, and he wants you to put up your house as collateral. Given the circumstances that brought her to prison, Mr. Milner, I'd say you have a better chance of winning the lottery than ever before. The house is half hers, sir. Wonderful. She can put up her half. The guarantor does not agree to this. That's what I'm counting on. Won't you help her? Not one bit, Mr. Milner. I gave her a chance to walk away from this mess, but she let her boyfriend talk her out of it. Let him rot in prison, I don't care. She would like to see you. I can do it. Seeing her in an orange jumpsuit will make me feel better. What are the visiting hours? I was sitting on the other side of the screen when it was brought in. She was wearing an orange jumpsuit with chains on her ankles and handcuffs. I asked about this later and found out that it didn't matter who you were or what you were in, as standard operation procedure involved moving all prisoners in handcuffs and leg chains. They removed her handcuffs but left the chains on her legs and led her to the seat opposite me. She sat down, looked at me, and began to cry. Get me out of here, Rob. Please, get me out. No way, Jenny. I gave you a choice that would have kept you from doing this, but you listened to your lover, not me. I don't know if he seduced you or if you pulled him into your affair, but the point is that he cost you your marriage, and now he costs you your freedom. You could have signed the papers John had prepared and left, but you let Bill talk you out of it in order to force Bill to post bail somehow. When you're found guilty, which John says is inevitable, I'll still get the divorce and everything I asked for, so I'm kind of glad it's going that way. I like to see you in chains. Enjoy life, Jenny. You gave up a good marriage for the privilege of being here, so you should at least try to enjoy it. I stood up and walked out of the visiting room when she screamed, Please, Rob, please don't leave me here. A young man stood in the corridor with a briefcase. When he saw me, he came up to me and introduced himself as Jason Milner. We need to talk before this mess goes too far. Let's. I talked to your wife and Mr. Bolton, and they told me that this was all your idea, and I'm afraid I'll have to tell it in court. Why don't we see if there is some way to resolve this matter without going to trial? How long have you been doing this, Mr. Milner? 5 years, what? And in all these years you still haven't realized that your clients will say anything they think will help their chances? I have audio and video recordings of them plotting against me, Mr. Milner. What do they have to back up their claims? I gave them both a chance to keep this civil suit, and the two of them decided to decline. See you in court, Mr. Milner. Bill rented out his house and put down a deposit. And when Jenny found out he was out and she wasn't going out, she was furious. She turned to Bill and said it was his idea, and in exchange for a plea deal, she agreed to testify against him. Her testimony, supported by tapes, was sufficient. The trial lasted less than 24 hours, and the jury was out for less than an hour. As part of a plea bargain, Jenny pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 1 year with credit for time served, 4 months. And the rest of the time she was given probation and ordered to perform 500 hours of community service. Bill pleaded not guilty and fought it all the way and got 3 years. When he gets out, he'll still have my alienation of affection lawsuit waiting for him. John said we could continue even with Bill in prison, but it might end too quickly. The longer I endure his torment, the happier I will be. Since Jenny was found guilty, I have gotten a divorce and everything I asked for. I have no idea where she is or what she's doing. I know she lost her job while she was in prison. I meet her sister Judy from time to time, but by unspoken agreement, Jenny is not mentioned. Of the 5 guys sharing that evening, all were divorced within 6 months, and their wives stripped them. 2 were fired within 6 months, 2 others quit within the next year, and Sam made the mistake of waiting for me in the parking lot the day he quit. It cost him a broken nose, 2 broken ribs, and 5 missing teeth. I was in pain for a couple of days after that. But as weird as it may sound, it was good pain, satisfying pain. Of these, only Donnie still works with me. and we are polite when necessary and avoid each other as much as possible. $3,000? It paid for my 2 weeks in Cancun while Jenny was in jail. The biggest surprise in this whole case? That I got away with it. Milner was right. I arranged everything, but I had no idea it would turn out as good as it did. All I wanted was a divorce, on the most favorable terms for me. What can I say? Sometimes you just get lucky and damn it, but it really feels good. I remembered that old TV show, The A-Team, and what the Colonel, played by George Peppard, said, "I love it when a plan comes together." Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.